Hi Stampers, this is Karen Phillip from Stampin' with Z Grandma Karen. Today we're going to learn how to make this background using sponging and paper, and it's faux tearing. So let's get started. First of all, you need a piece of white cardstock. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. Yeah, you can see it. And I'm using some removable tape. This is a Tombow removable tape or anything that you might have. If you don't have any removable, then just put a real tiny little piece of your regular, I'm just putting just a tiny piece of regular snail and placing it on my grid paper. It works best on grid, and you'll see why in a moment. Then we're going to take this is about a half a piece of regular copy paper, and I'm just tearing it in half. It doesn't have to be straight, but not real wavy either. So I'm going to put some of this removable tape along the top of it, and this side has more of the ragged edge. That will be the front. And this isn't necessary, but it just makes it a little easier to keep the paper in place. Here's the other side of it. Here's the rough side. So we're putting the adhesive on the back. Again, the not faux adhesive, the removable adhesive. So the first step is getting our top stripe. And I'm going to put this about there, about 3 squares down if you're using the grid paper. I'm using a sponge and Sahara sand ink. Any neutral color will work fine. Light neutral color, I should say that. So we're just going to sponge this top portion. And I like to start off of the paper first and then bring it in. And you kind of have to be careful so that this paper doesn't come up. Circular usually works best when you sponge, but because of this line here, we're doing a little more straight, and it will dry more even and lighter as we go. So we'll remove that. Oops. Removing that. And then we're going to turn this top piece around and go about 3 squares down, and we'll put our next stripe about like that. And now we'll take our other piece of paper and we'll put it down about 3 stripes, 2 to 3 squares as well. And now we're going to sponge that opening. I'm kind of holding it just so that it doesn't move on me. First time I did this, I didn't put any adhesive on the back, and I was really struggling with it, so this seemed to really help. Okay, we're going to peel that off. There's our first stripe. And then take this off. Next one, we'll go down 2 to 3 squares and bring our other one about 2 to 3 squares, kind of like this look. And same thing. Squeaky. Like so. And then it's you usually get about 4 to 5 stripes, depending on how far you do this. So I'll try one more, and let's see what happens. Like that. There is no specific pattern on it, it's just to get the desired look. Typically mine aren't this wavy, but it still will look good. Okay, and so now I don't need to put anything on this bottom because we're pretty good. And that's just kind of a neat design that we have for our background without using designer paper. So some of the removable tape is left on my piece, and I'll just rub that off. A Post-it note would also work. I didn't have any big Post-it notes, so that's why I went with the piece of paper, because it was wider as well. Okay, so we'll take that off. Now this one has the good Stampin' Seal on there, so it's stuck pretty well, even just that little tiny bit. So that tells you how good the Stampin' Seal is. I'm going to put this is Sahara Sand, and I'm putting Rich Razzleberry on the first layer. Just put that on there like that. And then our next layer is our stripes. You can decide if you want the white on top, or if you do end up with the pattern on the bottom. I don't know if I have any that I had that. No, all of mine. So I'm just putting this right here. I'll put tape on it first. And this one is a narrower border, just to give it a little bit of color to tie all the colors together. Okay, I'm just gonna flip this over. All right, next step is working with our sunflower. So I had cut out the sunflower with the sunflower bundle, and you can see some of these are punched out. So here's the sunflower bundle. The dies are the outline of it. Here's one that I have for the inside, or the inside. It's just plain. Some branches, the leaves, you have plain, and the veins, and then the center. And this is the stamp set that goes with it. And these dies, of course, fit with this. And this one also has a die to go with it. Okay. So what I suggest is finding the front of your bottom piece, and you can usually tell which is front and back. The back, I'm not sure if we'll be able to see this. Probably not. But you'll be able to see the front kind of bows down like that, and there'll be like a little tiny edge on the back. And the outline stamp, or the outline die, that's obvious which is which. But to line it up, I like to kind of line it up first. And I have embossed this on these sheets, the adhesive sheets. So this has adhesive on the back. And that's why you don't need to take all of these out yet, because they'll all go together. But to line it up, the easiest way that I found, this edge kind of reminds me of a saw, like a circular saw blade. And so I'm going to find these, and that's the only place that these are. And so I'm finding these on the actual sunflower outline one. And when you find those, they just line up just like that. And so that's a little tip that I have that worked for me. So since this already has the backer on it, when you pull off the backer, it leaves the sticky, but it also, I'm gonna get my garbage can over here, it also takes off all of those little pieces, well, most of them. And then you can just use your thumb and grab the others. And then another time you can use your thumb, of course, because I'm doing the video, some more pieces than normal stayed. All right, so this comes out. They come out pretty easily. So then the little dots in the center, if there's a bunch left, again, I just use my finger and they'll be in my finger for a little bit. And you just kind of, I'm just pushing down and most of them come out. And if you still feel you want to take more out, you just can use your pokey tool or your pickup tool. Okay. The hardest part is getting all the little dots off your fingers. And you'll find them in a day or two. Okay. So now again, I have my saw side up, saw blade up, I'll call it, saw blade side up, and I'll find my saw blade right here. That lines up, and then you just stick it down. And then it sticks to it and you're good to go. So attach that to the card. And it doesn't have to go in any special direction or anything, just put it on there. And then I have the leaves cut out the same way. Oops, I'm missing one. Okay, well, we'll just put one leaf with the veins on for now. So I have the plain leaf, and then I have the veins of it. And this is Granny Apple Green, and this is Old Olive, so they're pretty close, but it gives it dimension like that. And again, it has the sticky on the back, so I'll remove that. Okay, put that on there. And then you just glue that on, and you can just tuck it underneath there. And then you'll put the second one on. I just have to find my little variegated part. I'll do that later. And then for the center, I did this in, well, what color did I do this? I want to say it's not Melon Mambo, it's another melon. Anyway, the yellow that you want to put this on here. And I did use a large dimensional. So I put the dimensional right in the center of the card, pull this off, and then just stick this on like so. The next step is putting the sentiment on, and I did the sentiment like this. So I embossed this in white, and again, this is from that stamp set. It says, "Let's Celebrate You." And then I cut it out around the entire image. If we just put a whole big piece like that, it just looks so cumbersome. And I could have embossed that on there, but I really think this looks cooler. And then I added some gems, and these are artistic sequins. And the neat thing about these, they're a little iridescent, and they match. Okay, so here's some yellow, more yellow ones, and here's some more of the raspberry color. And they don't have holes in the center, so they're not as annoying as the regular sequins if you don't like sequins. And then you just take these off with your paper tool. And basically that's pretty much it to make this card. So I hope you like the technique and the card itself. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment, and I will hope that you have a good day. Thanks for watching.